Greetings to those who are new and welcome back to those who already know us. This is the vlog number 8 where we try to document the progress of our game project, which we currently call Auto Conquest. Well, we might change the name. Our idea would be the name Kingsblood. Maybe you viewers can decide what you like more. But I would say let's not waste time but jump right into the action and let me tell you what actually changed throughout the last week. So the last week I was telling you about our questing system, and we had this button right here where we could create a quest. And this is actually not the way how it is supposed, how you will get quests. You will get them in the cities, in the town halls, randomly in taverns, or just based on a trigger in terms of the main storyline. But right now this is our short way of creating a quest, and the quest will spawn at a random location on the map. So when I press here again, you will see that the quest will spawn at another place. Now, as you can see right here, the first adaptation is that we have here the implementation of a coast. So from our home base, where our hero group is located, you will know how long and how many turns it will take you to travel to this location. Okay, and now let's start the quest. And you might remember this video, this window right here, where we could assemble our group and send them into battle. And this works, of course, still, but something has changed. Now let's draw in our first fighter, Torben, and as you can see right here, we now added these synergies. You can see also the tooltips are working now. We have, for instance, a human. If we have 3 humans, their limit cost will be reduced. Maybe a bad example, because you probably don't know what limit is supposed to mean right now. It is basically something like mana. It will be just an additional resource. But for instance, you also see the barbarian, so these are just placeholders at the moment. But if you have 3 barbarians in your group, they will hit harder. If you have 6 barbarians in your group, they will hit even more hard. And with 9 barbarians, they will just decimate everything possible in their way. Okay, but this is not only placeholder texts, but it already works. It kind of interacts with your group composition, because let's draw in another barbarian. Okay, here we have Bjork, and you see he has also the barbarian stat and he has also the human stat, right? And out of a coincidence, he also has the earth stat, right? And if I draw over the icon again, still nothing changes. But now we have another barbarian, out of coincidence also a human. And let's see, now you see, if I hover now over the synergies, you see that the system already recognizes that we have 3 of these units, and now basically their buff is activated. And when you're in the combat system, they will apply this buff on all party members, or at least all the humans which are in your group. So I hope now you can see it is very similar to auto chess or to teamfight tactics. That it will be very important how you put together your group, and you won't be able to put together basically the best group every time, because you will have multiple quests on the world map. So that will be one problem. Heroes can get injured, so probably you have to exchange one unit in one group. And you see, I told this in the last video, we have this motivation systems. Sometimes heroes are just not willing to go on a quest. Like in the case of Wolf's Blood, if you're an animal lover, you won't like to slay harmless animals, so to say. And yeah, so the player has to think about and shuffle the groups basically every time he wants to form a new group. But this is not all we have. Another thing which also works is the inventory, and you can also drag and drop items from the inventory to the inventory slots, and I mean you can have 2 helmets, whatever, that's okay at the moment. So this is Rusty Head, and we can also remove Bjork, and when I drag him in, the items stick. So it's not just some cheaply created stuff, but everything is really connected and everything sticks. So also if you send this character on a quest and into combat and he comes back, the items, they are really on him. Okay, so this is how you would start a quest. But now how would the rest work out? Let's go, let's see. Okay, you see right now, here we have a calculated line to our quest location. And when we press the turn, you see, this group, they don't have a walking animation yet, but they will go towards the quest location. So these are the actual models which we will use in combat. And if you have a group of 3 people, they will have a different formation as, for instance, if you have 9 people. If you have 9 people, they will position themselves slightly different. Okay, what will happen if we reach this destination? Let's go. Okay, the last time. Alright, and here you see we made the transition from our main scene to our combat system. So still lacking the graphics for the background, but one of our guys, Veggie, is already working on some backgrounds. And yeah, like in the last video, we can assemble the warriors. At the moment I think they are all melees, and they actually have names, you cannot see it right now. So these are our characters, Vilka, and what we did not connect yet is that the group which you actually send is represented in this combat scene. This will come in one of the next vlogs. But let's start the fight. And yeah, here we go. Oh, that looked kind of glitchy, so actually there are some glitches. But the combat kind of works out as we like it. And I think it will be very surprising how combat turns out, depending on the synergies that you take. And of course all the units will have special attacks and a mana bar. When the mana bar is filled, they will do... for instance, they will create a barrier and whatever. And here you see what you probably saw last time. The overview about who did how much damage. Holdor, like most of our times, is the best damage dealer. Okay, but now let's switch back to the main theme. You see, also this transition works. And now what should happen is that when you press turn again, the group should go back to our home base. This is not implemented yet, but that's how it would work. And when they would be back in the base, you would have them available for the next quest. But what still works is we can spawn another quest, so this gray bar, don't get distracted by it, it's just because it's at the lower border of the map. So let's start another quest, and you see the people who are already on the road are not available for us. So let's form another group. Let's take these 4 people right here. Okay, and you see they now have completely different synergies. For instance, Kingsblood, like the possible title for our game, because this is what our story is all about the Kingsblood. And yeah, let's set them, and same procedure as before, and let's go. And you might see that they are currently walking over the water, and this is not what we want. So I now quit the game and changed into the development mode, and what you can see right here is the scene view. And you can see right here, I was hoping that one of our quests spawns right here or here, because then everything would already work. Because what we did was we have a nuff mesh, as you can see right here, and we have these areas, and I can show you actually these areas We have water, street, forest, mountain. We will probably add more areas like snow or swamp, and they have an attached coast. For instance, a street only has a coast of 1, and water has a coast of 50. So of course, if you want to, so what will happen that the system will try to find the fastest way of your group to the quest location. So what this will mean is that when you spawn a quest, the group will try to walk along the street and avoid forest, mountains, stuff like that. But if there is no better route available, they will also go through the through the mountains or through the water, and or maybe we also maybe we will forbid to go through water. But what I want to say is that you will not have a straight line going to the quest location, which what you saw before, but you will have a curvy line and they will go along the streets. And I think this would look really cool and also be more realistic. And yeah, so why didn't we do this for all the map already? So this is a lot of work. So these areas have to be created and then baked into the map, and for this we can not just draw on the map, but we have to do it with polygons, and this takes a lot of work. So probably Veggie will do this in the upcoming weeks, but it's just something which takes a lot of time. Okay, and I think this is basically how our mission loop will work. So I think this is our first game mechanic, which is really kind of cool, which I think where you really get a feel how we want to have it. But for me as our story writer, it is also very important that we progress on another area, and I craved for those changes for a long time. So our dialogue system got a major overhaul. So let me start the game again. It takes some time. Okay. Okay, and maybe you see we still have kinda the same UI for our dialogues. Faces got a bit bigger because we like the art and we want to display the art. But so far I could just create linear dialogues, one dialogue then the next dialogue. And of course what we want to have, we want to trigger those dialogues. If something happens on the world map, then only then the dialogue should trigger. And what Dominic did right now is he added, I think, at least 10 or 15 ways how we can trigger dialogues. For instance, at the start of a turn, at the end of a turn, if the reputation to a city changes, stuff like that. So it's really a lot. But aside from that, we also added a lot of features to the dialogues. For instance, we can display graphic effects if something special happens. And I can show you right this. So we did this yesterday and I really like it. Okay, you see the blood splattering. So for this dialogue, if this guy here gets harmed, as you saw, blood will splatter. But that's not all. We can also set a camera location, because right now you can see I can just move the camera. That's not how we imagine the dialogue system. It would be kind of bad if a dialogue would take place right here and you would be right here with your camera. So this would, I think, break the immersion, or at least I think it would add to the immersion if you would think where the dialogue actually takes place. And let's see.
He's awake again.
Okay, you see, he's awake again, and now you know exactly where he is awake again. And we planned a lot of other of these, let's say, fluff features. For instance, if there are dialogues of people who are possibly not that kind, we will switch the music and play a more sinister or a more dark theme. And these are all features which already work. So what you see, a lot of stuff has changed throughout the last week, and what we are striving to do, you have to see we are only 2 months into development, and I think we are rushing like crazy. Basically, like I said, all our free time is flowing into this project, and what we are striving to do is start a Kickstarter at some point. But I have to say, it only makes sense to create a Kickstarter if we have some more subscribers, if we have at least a little fan base or people who are interested in this game. I mean, else just no sense in creating a Kickstarter, and no one will be interested in it. So if you enjoy this video and what we are doing, and if it brings you any kind of entertainment, then please subscribe to this channel and share it to anyone who could be interested. Yeah. And with those being my final words, I'm out until next week.